All right, it's Saturday, and today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna veer off from the trading stuff because I mean, come on, life isn't just all about trading, right? At least on the days when the market's not open. On Monday it will be, but it's Saturday, nothing's going on. Plus, Schwab is updating our thinkers from this weekend, so I don't have like a lot of high hopes for Monday. We may not even be trading Monday, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, today I'm gonna do something a bit different. I'm gonna like pull back the curtain a little bit and show you a little bit more about my and reveal a bit more about my sordid past. And what brought this up is in a weird roundabout way was I'm reading this book right now called Quit or Quitting by a woman named Annie Duke. And don't tell anybody, like especially my wife, but I sort of have like a man crush or a not a man crush. Isn't a man crush when you have a crush on a man? Well, I guess she's a poker player, so maybe, I don't know. Anyway, she's this really cool lady who has written a couple of books, and I'm really enjoying them. I'm really liking them, and they do kind of relate to trading, and she even makes reference to trading in a lot of them throughout the book. And there's another one called Thinking in Bets. I don't know if you guys ever read that? Thinking in Bets. There's one called How to Make Decisions, and then the one I'm reading right now is called Quitting or Quit. So yeah, here it is. There it is. Quit. The power of knowing when to walk away. And like I said, she has a lot of references in all of her books to trading. She was a poker player, like a really good poker player. She made like a lot of money, and she talks a lot about ideas from gambling. I was raised in a super conservative house, and I don't even know how to gamble. There's a funny story that I'll tell you, like in a future video, about the time when my dad took all of us. I mean, we were super conservative, right? Really very super. Like we couldn't watch movies, rock music. Oh hell no. Whoops. Gambling. Huh. Are you kidding? We didn't even meet. Anyway, one time my dad took us, all of us little kids. I had a bunch of brothers and sisters. We took us to the casinos. We were going through Las Vegas on a trip, and we walked through one of the casinos, and it was hilarious. This funny thing that happened. But that's a story for another time. I'll do that in a future video. But anyways, we get back to her. So she has like a lot of cool life lessons and things you can apply to your life. Gambling type of lessons that are applicable to like your everyday living. Anyway, this book Quit is a really cool book. I'm thinking of maybe doing even like a short, like a condensed book version. See, there's a couple of books out there that I really like. I want to pass on to my kids, but my kids, like my son's 18, and I know that there's no way he would read it. If I gave him the book, I've tried this even. I give him a book and it just sits there untouched. He never reads it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to pull out the super gold nuggets from him and just do a really super fast, condensed, like sledgehammer over the head, insightful, condensed book version on some of these. And I'm thinking of starting with this one, this Quit one, and it'll be for my kids, but I'm thinking of also putting them on my YouTube channel, just put them out there for everyone else to hopefully benefit from. Anyway, I'm getting off on a rambling tangent here. So to try to get back on track, so this book Quit has a bunch of cool stuff in it, a bunch of cool like life lessons in it. It really got me thinking about the early on years. See, when I was a kid, I wanted to be the next Steven Spielberg. I wanted to make movies. I wanted to be a movie director, and I was totally into it, man. We had like one of the first VHS camcorders that came out. Me and my friends, we'd make all these movies. I'd write scripts and film these things. And here's a picture of this is our little hometown newspaper back then. This is a story, an exclusive scoop, a story on us making these movies. That's me. That's my brother. That's my great friend, who's still my great friend. We all grew up together making movies. And then during my college age years, I was making this movie. It was like it was right after Terminator came out. Or no, Terminator 2. Remember Terminator 2? With that police guy that would like melt and blend into bars and contort and all that stuff. It was right around the time that came out, and I was kind of doing like a rip-off, sort of a rip-off on that movie. And we were shooting it on 8mm black and white film. I thought it was so cool. Look, here's a picture of me. This is like it went out to a lot of film festivals back then, and it actually did pretty well. But this is a shot of me editing my Super 8mm film that I would send out as part of the kind of like a miniature ridiculous press kit. And this is the photo I would send out. That's me editing the film, this little Super 8 black and white science fiction film. And the funny thing was, like, there was this monster. We had this creature monster that one of my other friends helped me make. He was like this artist guy, and he created this costume. I don't know what you would call it. Here's a picture of it. And it was the monster in the film. And I actually got my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, God bless her soul. I got her to dress up in this thing, and she was an RA at the college we went to. We went to Chico State, and she was an RA for the dorm there. They had like this 10-story dorm, and she was an RA on one of the floors. And so like at night, late at night, we would go in there. She had the keys and stuff. We would go up to the very top floor. The top floor was like this big boiler room. It was like this weird, creepy looking, like Freddy Krueger. Remember how that place where Freddy Krueger lived? Like with all the pipes and the tanks and the steam, and it was hot. It was like a boiler room. It was like that up on the top floor of this dorm. And we would go in there like at night. We would go up there and we would film. She would get dressed. I owe her so much. She's so great. But she would get dressed up in this monster costume, right? And we would shoot scenes up there at night, like cutaways and shots that we would all edit together later on. And so one night we were up in there filming. So there we are up there, me and all my friends, and her standing there like in the middle of all these tanks and pipes, dressed like this monster. And all of a sudden the door to the boiler room opened up, and one of her co-workers said she needs some help with something. Like she had some sort of question, and she knew that my girlfriend was up there in their boiler room. So she came in, and I'll never forget the look on her face. She was just like looking around like, what in the heck? What is going on here? And this weird looking monster was standing there, and then she's all, Christy? And then she went on to carry on this conversation with my wife, my girlfriend, as the monster. So like so the monster is standing there. All of us are just watching this thing from the sidelines, and then the monster is conversing with her coworker like a normal human being, and they're just talking this regularly back and forth, like this nice, beautiful woman's voice coming out of this horrendous creature. Anyway, I think that her superiors, I think her boss, found out about it eventually, and we weren't allowed to film up there anymore. But luckily we got what we needed. So anyway, so then I moved up. We were up there in Chico, it's kind of a small town in California. And then I moved down to LA to make it as the movie director, as the next Steven Spielberg. And when I got there, when I drove into town and got my place all set up, it was sort of like I was expecting everyone to be like amazed, like, oh my God, where have you been? It's the next Steven Spielberg. Finally, the next Quentin Tarantino, the next big thing in Hollywood. And that's what I was expecting. And that's not what happened. In fact, I found that there's a million other people out there, just like me, who all thought they were the next Steven Spielberg. And it was this big cutthroat, backstabbing scene where everyone was scrambling for the crumbs, trying to get noticed, and dog eat dog. It was just, oh, it's awful. I mean, LA's full of these people, actors who are actually waitresses and waiters, all waiting for their big break. Movie film directors, screenwriters, all waiting to be discovered and get their big break. But anyway, throughout that time, I was interning for this director who, I think I've talked about him before. He's the guy who lived in the heart of Beverly Hills, and he lived right up the street from Francis Ford Coppola. And one day I almost ran over Francis Ford Coppola. But I was interning for him, and it was in the later part of his years. He made a lot of films. Let's see if I can find him. Man, it's been so long. This was like in the late 90s. So let's say Lamar. His name was Lamar Card. Not Cardinals. Lamar Card. There he is. Lamar Card. And he had a couple of like hits back in like the 70s, I think. Let's see. Oh yeah, so let's check this out. So Lamar Card. We'll go to his page. So this is the guy I was interning for a while. Let's see, what has he done? Who's that? There he is. That's sort of what he looked like when I was working with him. Lamar Card. I don't know who that is. Maybe is that supposed to be somebody famous? Anyway, some of the films he did were. I think he did one film. Oh, Terror Train. I think Terror Train was his big one. It was like I think Jamie Lee Curtis was. Oh yeah, there it is. Terror Train. So this was his movie that he did. Kind of like a B or a C movie. Check out that poster. That's funny. Oh, there's a trailer. Let's see how old Lamar did. I don't think I've ever even seen this. 3 years after a prank goes awry, 6 college students responsible are targeted by a mass killer. Oh my God.
I don't want to get back on that track.
Terror Train. Anyway, I was interning for him, and he had met up with a woman from Texas. She was like, she was in her late 50s. This is back in 98, 99, and she had just written a screenplay. Like, she was just a waitress out there in Texas, a single woman, and she wrote this screenplay that actually got bought and made into a movie, and she made like a bunch of money. So she came to she came to LA. She moved to LA to try to make it as a screenwriter, and she was going to live off that money she made from the script and like write some more scripts and try to get her big break. And let's see if she's on here. I bet she is. Her name was Myra Bianca. Yeah, here it is. Myra Bianca. So this is the film she wrote, Shadow of Doubt, 1998. It was made into a movie, and I don't think it was a big hit, but it was a real film. Oh, look at this. There's some big actors in it. Tom Berenger and Melanie Griffith. Hey, that's not too shabby. She did pretty good. So anyway, the director, Lamar Card, and the waitress from Texas, screenwriter, hooked up. And while I was interning for the guy, the director, I created a friendship with Myra Bianca because she was always over there working, and she found out that I wanted to be a movie director, and I thought I was the next Steven Spielberg. And she was struggling trying to get screenplays sold; they weren't selling. So she thought, I'm just going to take some of this money that I made from the screenplay that I sold. I'm going to create a short film, and then that'll be my ticket. That'll be my ticket to the big time, baby. And so she knew I wanted to be a director, so she said, "Okay, how about this? How about I write the screenplay for the short film, and then you'll direct it, and we can work together." Because she said, "I don't know how to direct, and I don't even know if I want to direct, but you do, or at least you say you do. You keep saying you're the next Steven Spielberg." So we did that. So she put up the money. She wrote a little short script, and she put up the money. And I can't remember how much money, so it was like, I think it was, it was a big deal. Like, we had a big crew. We had like a full cast and crew. We had, it was 35 millimeter, which at the time was the thing. It was like, we were out there with those Panavision cameras, those big Panavision cameras. And it was a really cool deal, really cool experience. So anyway, I ran across that film this last week as I'm reading this book, Quit. And it all kind of combines together, which hopefully I'll like tie all the loose ends together here and the strings. But anyway, I'm going to show you this film here because I hadn't seen this in years, like maybe like 10 years, and I just found it this weekend. So I thought, I'll just put this out there on my YouTube channel and see, have people rate it. Get some reviews, and they listen. I just say that kind of tongue in cheek, but do review it. I would like you to review it, and leave your comments and like how many stars you would give it out of 4. And if you want to be totally brutal, be as brutal as you want. It doesn't matter to me anymore because I've finally realized that I'm not the next Steven Spielberg, and I've kind of gotten over all that, which is how that book, Quit, comes into play. But I think it would be really great. I think it would be really funny, and it would be cool if you did just like put your comments down below the video here on how you review the movie, like what you rate it and things you liked or things you didn't, and just be as brutal and honest as you want. It is because, again, it doesn't really matter to me, but I think it'd be kind of interesting to see the comments back to this thing. So here's the film. I'm going to play it real time, but I want to kind of real quick before we start, I want to go through a couple parts of it here. And I want to just point out a couple things. So I make a couple of appearances in this film myself. Again, this is this is like 20 years ago. My gosh, I can't believe how fast this whole thing is going. Holy moly. But anyway, so you'll see me a couple times. This is one of them. So right here, this newspaper, the photo of this nerd on the newspaper that this guy is reading. If we go forward, you can see the latest victim, Geek Killer. Geek Killer strikes again. That's me. A photo I took, and I was kind of hamming it up a little bit, but I was probably pretty geeky back then, just like I am today. So there's that. So keep your eye out for that shot. That's me. And then one of these actors in this thing, he wasn't big at the time, but this guy right here in the plaid shirt over to the right, he wound up going on to great things, and he was one of the few that made it. And his name was, you may have even seen him. He was on that show Lost. And then a couple other ones. Let's see. His name was Jorge Garcia. There he is. So do you recognize him? It's the same dude. There he is. That's him back then. This is before he was big. What just happened? There he is. So that's how he looks now. So he was in a couple shows. So he was in, let's see, Lost. So he was in Lost. He was like one of the most favorite characters in Lost. Everyone loved him. And then The Wedding Ringer. I haven't heard of that one. The Ridiculous Six. Oh, The Ridiculous Six. That's that Adam Sandler movie he was in. But there was also a TV show he was in. Oh, here's all the stuff he's done. Look at this. Is he still working? 2023. So he's still working. Oh, he was in MacGyver, the show MacGyver, not the old MacGyver from our back in the 80s days. This is like the remake. He was in Hawaii Five-0. You've probably seen that. What else? Anyway, so keep your eye out for him. He's one of the two main characters in this film. And again, this was before he was when he was just a nobody. And then let's see what else. There's a couple. There's another guy in here who's pretty famous. He's like a famous extra. He's like been in a ton of shows. Like you can see him in tons of TV shows and movies. And he's the guy that's he plays a cop. He always plays a cop. It's this guy, right? Oh, come on. There he is. This guy right here on the right. I forget his name, but he's been in a ton of shows, and he always plays the same character. He's kind of like, if you need a cop in your movie, go to him. I even saw him the other day when I was watching Magnolia, that Magnolia movie. He's in there. Like, there's a scene where they're in the police station, they're all being briefed, and he's one of the cops sitting in there. So anyway, so there's that, and then the other thing is right here, the final scene. That's my car back then. There's my Honda. God, I love that Honda. And then there's over this scene. There's a radio. You hear a radio announcer like being heard over like a radio broadcast, talking about the geek killer, and that's me. You can hear me there. So anyway, I'm just gonna let this thing play. So check it out. Here we go. I'm just gonna let it go, and it's only like 8 minutes or so, 7 or 8 minutes or so. But so check it out. So this is, and before I get into this, so there's, it kind of tiptoes the line into, I mean, it's not rated R, but it just kind of, starts to tiptoe the line a little bit into a little bit of appropriateness, like something I may not show my young kids, or that I may be uncomfortable showing my mom. And oh man, if my mom's watching this, I'm sorry, Mom. But just keep in mind that the story, the actual script, the story and the dialogue was all written by Myra Bianca, so I'm going to throw her under the bus. I didn't write those lines, and this wasn't my exact idea. But the thing that I take credit for is the overall feel of the thing, kind of like the over-the-top cartoonishness, the sequence of shots, the building, the construction of the scenes. I was really into like storyboarding everything out and getting some cool camera movements going on and making them all just fit together like a puzzle. And then the soundtrack is great on this. The soundtrack was by this guy, a friend of mine, who, let's see if I can find him. His name was Rob Carnes, composer. Yeah, this guy was super talented. I mean, see, the thing is, there's tons of super talented people out here in LA who are trying to make it. And they're likely, some of them are likely better than the best actors and directors and music composers and screenwriters out there. It's just a big part of this whole game is the luck factor. Of course, you have to be good. You have to really be like top notch, but you also there's that luck factor and like knowing the right people coming in to help make it. At least that's what I tell myself when I cry at night over failing to become the next Steven Spielberg. But anyway, so this guy was a great friend, and he was a great musician, great soundtrack guy. That's maybe the best part of this whole film. Anyway, let's get this thing going. Get some popcorn. Here we go.
Yeah, I want to love my life away. I want to love my life away. I want to love my life away with you. Ooh.
Man, listen to this. They found another stiff at the golf course. He'd been stabbed 18 times with a butcher knife.
Bummer. The psycho killer's running around, and all you care about is that chick who smiled at you yesterday.
Should have been here, man. She thinks I'm hot.
Yeah, right. Oh. Cop seems to kill her some red-headed babe wearing large sunglasses. She was like...
There she is.
A mocha java to go, please.
Act like you don't know me.
I've been thinking about you.
You have?
5 o'clock. And don't be late.
.355 Weeping Willow Drive.
What?
Man, I don't believe this! Oh, you're not seriously thinking of going over there.
You kidding? It's my big chance.
She's a complete stranger. For all you know, she could be this chick who's bumping off guys like you.
You just don't want me to have any fun.
Fun! What's the difference if you wind up dead?
Catch you later, man.
Are you just gonna leave me here?
Hey! Hey!
Think I should wear a tie?
You don't own a tie.
Oh, yeah. And maybe I ought to take her some flowers.
Yeah, why don't you bring your own body bag while you're at it?
Listen, Buster, you owe me $4.50.
Forget about it. We'll go rent sex-starved co-ed centerfolds again. It's your favorite!
Pay up, fatso, or else.
Okay. Wait a sec, will you?
How sweet.
Weeping Willow Drive. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Blue Lake Golf Course. Hang on there, buddy! I'm coming!
So, have you ever had sex before?
Oh, yeah, sure, lots of times.
Well, aren't you going to take off your clothes? You ever done anything kinky?
Oh, yeah. Whips, chains, you name it.
In that case, you won't mind wearing these.
Derek! Derek!
Are you afraid
Afraid of what?
that you're in my control?
What is that?
Just something to keep you from screaming. An ecstasy.
Oh, girl,
Just let yourself feel every wicked thing I'm going to do to you.
How dare you bother a sweet girl like Michelle? Come back here, you little creep! you got here?
Oh, cops, thank God.
What seems to be the problem, Mrs. Pritchett?
That degenerate's a peeping Tom!
Oh, no, I'm not, I swear.
Ma'am, I warned you once before about wasting our time with peeper coal.
Wasting your time!
Derek, hang in there. The cops are here. We're gonna save you, buddy.
I'll have you know that my taxes pay your salary!
Do something weird. She's gonna kill him.
Kill who, sir?
Derek, he's in there with the gate killer.
Oh, yeah, sure he is.
She's got him handcuffed to the bed.
My wife likes to cuff me to the bed and play with my service revolver.
Are you gonna arrest that P. Willie or what?
I know who you are, lady, and you won't get away with it.
Sir, please step away from the door.
Better open up or else.
I said step away from the door now.
I'm telling you, she's a bloodthirsty killer.
Do I look like a killer to you?
How could you do this to me? Man, she was about to carve you up and dump you at the golf course. She's the girl of my dreams. You've ruined everything.
Come on, big guy. Gonna have to run you in.
Run me in for what?
Trespass. Disturbing the peace.
But I didn't do anything.
Don't worry, ma'am. We'll see he doesn't bother you again.
Wait! You don't understand. She really is the gate killer.
Pervert!
Don't suppose I could get your phone number.
Right.
Right. My big chance to finally score. And you blew it for me. Dude, I was just trying to help you. Someday you'll thank me. Thank you? Huh. I'll never speak to you again.
And now from KKLD, Southern California's #1 Golden Oldie station, here's the news at the top of the hour. Loon Lake police continue to be baffled about the identity of the notorious geek killer. Psychiatrist Dr. Mortimer Snodgrass stated in an interview in the Loon Lake Gazette that he believes the killer has a pathological grudge against losers. So, all you geeks, better watch out. Butcher Babe could be looking for you.
Yeah, I want to love my life away. I want to love my life away. I want to love my life away with you.
So there's Jorge. Roger Klein. That's the guy who's like the cop that's everywhere. If you see some sort of a show with cops in it, or even like as a kind of just a little part character, keep your eye out for him. He could probably be the guy. I don't know if he's still around, but I think this is the guy. Oh, he died? Oh, that's not him. That guy died in 1946. Is it Robert or Roger? Oh, it's Roger. No wonder. Let's see real quick. Roger Klein? Yeah, there he is. Oh, his real name's Roger Garcia, also known as Roger Klein. He's sort of the go-to cop. If you need a cop in your life, well, so he was on Days of Our Lives, 1965. Oh man, I'm getting old. So that thing is like 20. That movie's 20 years old now. So anyway, that's it. Go ahead and I would love it if you would just leave your thoughts on that movie below. Give it a rating. Be like Roger Ebert, or who's that guy that's on American Idol, or used to be on American Idol, the guy who just tore everybody apart. Go for it. Rip me a new one. Or if you liked it, tell me what you liked about it. And rate it. Give it ratings like, so 4 stars is the top. So how many out of 4 stars? 4 stars is the best. 0 stars is the worst. And even if you think it's like really, really bad, you can say 0. You can say like 0.3 stars. Anyway, this video is getting on way too long. So I'm going to wrap it up here, but there is a point to this, and I'm going to do a part 2 to this. So this is part 1 of a bigger, of a 2 or 3 part series that I'm going to do. And I've just like wasted so much time here on the first one. I'm going to make this a multi-parter. So there is a point to all this, and it'll tie right into not only trading, it'll tie into trading, but it'll also tie into this cool book from Annie Duke, or Daisy, or whatever her name is, the gambler, who's written this book called Quit. I'm going to do a real short, snappy, straight to the point, give me just the good stuff summary of that book that I can have my kids watch and hopefully pass on those golden nuggets to them and put it out there for all you on my YouTube channel as well. So keep an eye out for that, part 2, and hope you're having a great weekend. If you'd like to follow me and follow along with all my trades that I'm doing, my real money trades, my paper trades, my tests, my experiments, just make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel below. Hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to join me on my website. I have a lot of extra cool stuff I'm going to be sharing on my website that won't be on the YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed to my email newsletter. It's free. And to join it, just go over to my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Head on over there, sign up for that free email newsletter, and you'll get a welcome email right away. When you get that welcome email, just reply back to me and say, hey, what's going on, man? And I'll get back to you and say, hey, everything's cool, dude. And we'll go from there. All right, that's it for this one. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought of this little flick, and I'll see you in the next one.